Olivia. I'm going to be your student nurse today. Can you tell me your name?
I'm Aislinn.
Nice to meet you, Aislinn. Tell me a little bit about what's going on in your life.
So I'm struggling right now with what to do with my job.
Okay.
So I'm a nursing student and I also work at the hospital. So I work full time, so I work 3/12 there, and then I'm also in clinicals 2 days a week. So I spend a lot of time at the hospital.
Yes.
There's a nurse that works at the hospital that doesn't like me. She hasn't for probably 12 years now.
Okay.
And anyway, she's just starting to cause a lot of issues, and I'm struggling with it. Like, I should just quit my job and find a job at a different hospital.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your history with her, if you don't mind.
So it all started probably like 12 years ago.
Okay.
It all stems back to a guy.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure where I went wrong, but we dated the same guy essentially.
Okay. At different times? Or?
Yes, at different times. And we were young. I mean, we were like 16, 17 at the time. So it was like dramatic and whatever. But anyways, I ended up dating him for a lot longer than she did. We ended up having a child together.
Okay.
And then he passed away during my pregnancy. So he's no longer in the picture.
Okay.
But then we kind of ran in the same friend group. We weren't friends. We've never been friends.
Yeah.
But, and there's always just been drama. Like, she would get on social media and like bully me essentially. And then like just cause a lot of drama anytime we were at the same place together.
Yeah.
Over the last 10 years, we have like dated some of the same people.
Okay.
Never at the same time, and never like, I guess I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. She thinks I did because I dated her ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
So anyways, there's like just a long, stupid history.
What does she think that you did wrong?
I'm not entirely sure because she hasn't really told me.
Okay.
But what I've heard from other people is that she like was telling everybody I'm a boyfriend stealer.
Okay. Have you ever tried to even, like talk with her at all, or she's not very approachable?
I mean, I did when we were younger.
Okay.
And then I kind of got out of that friend group. We were really like only friends, like shared the same friend group for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And so once I didn't have to see her, I thought it was gonna like kind of just dissipate, but then she would like find me on social media and interact with me that way. And so anyways, then there was like a 3-year period where we didn't interact at all. I kind of thought we'd moved on.
Yeah.
And then I started at the hospital. I saw her on my first day there, and I was like, oh, hey, like, whatever, and she ignored me, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're still not friends, but I wasn't really worried.
Yeah.
And then I went on my way, and then like 2 months after I worked there, I found out that day, she was like, hey, like, dig up dirt on her, like, I'm gonna get her fired, like, and so like ended up like my bosses had to talk to her, and so since I just kind of ignored her.
Yeah.
But then on New Year's Eve this year, I got in some trouble at work that was, I had tweeted something stupid, not anything that broke the rules at work, but something that could have potentially.
About her, or?
It was about me.
Okay.
And at some point she had like created a fake Twitter and followed me on Twitter.
Oh wow.
And she had screenshotted this tweet and reported it to HR. And so I got sent home from work. And anyways, long story short, she just keeps talking about me. It was basically telling everybody I'm drunk at work and putting like my patients at risk. And I've now like gone to HR and had all these things. But I just found out the other day that she made a complaint that I said I was going to hit a patient, which I would never say.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's like kind of my final straw. Like, I just am
Yeah.
trying to decide, like, should I just quit my job and get it over with, because it feels like she's trying to ruin my life.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah, I mean, I can understand, that would be, really hard, and like, especially having someone, like you said, that I feel like is trying to ruin my life. but, you know, I hear that you've tried to move on and, you know, almost be the bigger person saying, you know, hello at work and just, you know, trying to maybe, you know, ignore her or that behavior and everything like that. So, I mean, I applaud you for trying to be the bigger person. I can't imagine like how difficult that is. I mean, how does that make you feel overall?
Basically I just feel like unsafe. Like at work, I'm at the point where, cause I didn't want to I didn't want to go to HR. I didn't want to involve anybody else. I just wanted her to leave me alone.
Yeah.
So I tried to leave my department that I was in and go to a different department where I wouldn't have to work with her. And my bosses told me no. And so I was like, okay.
And what was the reasoning for that?
They said I was running away from my problems as opposed to like facing them head on because they wanted me to go to HR.
Okay.
And I just said I wouldn't do that. And so I did. So I told them no because I didn't want to involve anyone.
So you didn't want to involve anyone, so that's why you did go to HR.
Because I am so, like, I truthfully try to avoid drama.
Okay.
And especially now, like, I'm not saying I've always been perfect because I'm sure I've wronged her at some point.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what.
Well, I mean, good for you to be able to admit that.
Right. And so I just don't want, and so I'm not saying that I'm like innocent in all of this because I'm sure I've played a role at some point. But we're older now. Like I'm almost 29. Like I'm just trying to get a job. And
And you did say you have a 12-year history, don't you?
Yes. And like being a nurse is the most important thing in my life right now. And I'm scared that if she can't keep making complaints about me at work and getting me in trouble there, that she's gonna start calling the school and making complaints about me at school. And like, I'm just scared. I'm scared. That's how I feel. And I think that I'm thinking about quitting my job because I deserve to have a job where I don't feel scared all the time.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of options to work around here in the field. I mean, like as an ER nurse, which is what I want to do. And so I just don't know what to do. I feel like I'm being a little bit dramatic by wanting to quit my job. And so I'm just trying to figure out if that's the right thing to do.
I don't think that you're being dramatic. I mean, you told me that you feel unsafe. You said that you're scared and that that your bosses told you that you're running away from your problems. So it almost seems like, you know, no one's really listening to you or, you know, taking your, you know, thoughts and feelings into consideration, which can be, you know, very frustrating. And so now I think that you're at the point where, you know, you want to quit your job, but, you know, I guess that's a decision ultimately up to you. And like, I mean, how do you feel about that?
I love my job.
Yeah.
And so I do not want to quit my job. I very much want to work at Allen Hospital for a very long time. And so it feels, I just kind of feel like I'm backed into a corner. Honestly, I just feel like there's no good option.
Yeah. So you don't really see, like, I mean, any way out of this?
I really don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm scared she's going to end up losing her job and then she's going to want to hurt me even more. And I don't mean physically, I just mean like calling the school, like trying to get me kicked out of the program. And like I haven't done anything wrong, so like I can't really get in trouble, but just knowing that somebody out there thinks that I said I would hit a patient, like that is like a kick to my who I am as a person. I just like can't even imagine a world in which I would say that or even think that. So I just feel like I'm having to defend my character every time I'm at work, watch my back, make sure there's not somebody like waiting for me to mess up. And I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Well, at this point, do you think, is there any way that you feel like you can move forward, or I don't know. Well, it's, you know, it's almost like, you know, you seem like you love your job and like, you know, but at the same time you said you feel cornered, you have to, you know, defend yourself at work and you're backed into a corner and everything like that. So I hear you, and, you know, I hope that we can, you know, continue to have this conversation and, you know, maybe think of other solutions that we haven't thought of yet, or maybe reach out to, you know, some other people as well. But I definitely hear you, and it's very hard. So thank you so much for sharing with me today.
Thank you for listening.